Hi everyone, welcome to another session of MBA Pathshala. Okay, so in last session we did some of the grammar related question like preposition, and there was some sentence correction too. So this time what we will be focusing on, so idioms and phrases, which is a very common question type whenever it comes to NMAT or Snap exam. Okay, these are pretty easy and interesting too. All you need to do is, there is no logic, nothing else at all. Simply you know it or you don't know it. So first thing, that you need to learn some common phrases and idioms. So chances are really high that you will be able to solve all the questions. Okay. Next thing is, even if you don't know, that will be anyway time consuming, because what happens sometimes if you don't know the answer to any of the question. Okay. So what happens in that case, we actually spend like 2-3 minutes on maybe one question so that we'll get the answer. But here the thing is that either you know the answer or you don't know the answer. If you feel that you don't know the answer, in that case it is actually saving the time. And even if you know the answer, it is pretty quick, because it is more like vocabulary only. There is one specific meaning to a word or a phrase. Okay, so this is why these are very interesting and time saving questions. Now, before starting of the session, a gentle reminder that we have already started with the new batches of CAT and non-CAT, in which advanced, basic, test series, GDPI, everything will be taken care of, and you can also attend a free demo. If you feel like attending free demo or anything like that, simply give us a call on these numbers. Now, next reminder again, we have already started with a 45 days CAT marathon by IIM Alumni. So all you need to do is simply call us on the given numbers, and you can still enroll for the CAT marathon. In that, you will actually learn a lot of things, like how to solve higher level questions and how to solve them with minimum possible time. Now, if you feel that CAT is not the thing for you and you are only focused on NMAT and SNAP, so we have already come up with a crash course of NMAT and SNAP. In this, these are the key points which you will be getting from our side, that is live session and one-to-one mentorship, which is very important again. So if you are interested, you can simply give us a call on these numbers. Now, starting with the main question. So this is how phrasal questions look like. What will they do is, they either underline a part of the sentence. Okay, they'll either provide you with a part which is underlined, or they'll highlight it. Okay, what you need to do is, like, you need to come up with the most suitable alternate. Okay, so you can also consider that sometimes word is given to you and you have to come up with the meaning. Okay, this usually happens. Here the scene is that meaning is given to you, you need to come up with a word, more like that. Okay, so when we come to this, see this question. A video call from my favorite film star on my birthday was a complete surprise. So we have to come up with a meaning which is actually talking about that something come up more like a surprise in this case. Okay, so first is a damn square, bolt from the moon, from the blue, field day, a mess, nest. So whenever we come to this point, what exactly happens is that I know that a complete surprise, it means something which happens sudden. That is what complete surprise is known as. Okay, so bolt from the blue, you must have heard this phrase a lot, that out of the blue kahin se ho gaya, I don't know where out of the blue aaj usne call kiya. What is that? That something is actually surprising to you. True? So that's why bolt from the blue, which means a complete surprise. Whenever you want to say that something which basically a complete surprise to you, something happened suddenly or something which was really unexpected, that you can use the phrase bolt from the blue. If you have any question, any doubt, you guys can come up with it. Now, next. And moreover, one thing I would like to tell you, that please do not waste your time in evaluating the options. If you feel that, no, I know the answer, all I just need to do is that, yes, I need to recall the meaning, then it is okay. If you keep evaluating these, you won't be able to. Right? So that's why I don't evaluate these things. Next. The article on the world population published in today's journal is a duplicate of what was published in other day. Okay, so I need to come up with a word which means a duplicate of. It means a duplicate copy of. What is the answer? Okay, I told you now in previous one, I don't know if it was visible. It was bold from the blue. Nikita, I hope this is clear to you. It was bold from the blue. Second is the answer. Now, coming to next one. So you have to come up with something which means duplicate. Okay, duplicate of. So when we read this in a context, you can actually take a hint from the context too. When you read it from the context, we are talking about that article. This particular article is basically copy of something. Okay, so something which we have already published, somewhere we have seen it, and this is simply a copy. So if you go by these, the correct answer will be dead ringer. It means a copy of a duplicate of something which is basically of no use. Okay, because if you see, this is more like a dead thing only. मैंने already पढ़ा हुआ है, so this is more like a duplicate thing to me. Okay, so in this case, the correct answer will be dead ringer. Okay, and you can also note it down if you want, maybe later or now, because these are some of the most frequent phrases which you can expect in your examination. Okay. Next, even though he is a learned person, he talks nonsense when it comes to morality and integrity. Talks through one's hat, bark up the wrong tree, like a cat on hot brick, show a clean pair of heels. Okay. So something I have to come up with an alternate of talking nonsense. So I need to come up with a word, phrase, sorry. So in this case, talk through one's hat is more like, किसी और के उससे बोलना. Bark up the wrong tree is more like unnecessary. Irrespective, senseless thing. That is like a cat on a hot brick. Next, the world today is facing an unpleasant situation because of the pandemic disease. Okay, so we have to again come up with something unpleasant. It means facing under such situation which is not very pleasing to us, something like that. Okay, so something you can actually relate to the words kahin na kahin honge is the first answer. Okay, I don't know. First, the very first question, if anyone is asking, the question was bolt of the blue. That was the answer. So sudden surprise to someone. Okay, now second, अगर हम देखें तो कहीं ना some or other way, not directly you will be able to relate, but indirectly कहीं ना कहीं तो relate हो ही जाएगा. How that will happen? So facing an unpleasant situation, something which is not very favorable to us, a situation we are not really happy with, thrown out of gear. This doesn't relate to unpleasant situation if we compare even. Perhaps on the same string? No. Like a fish out of a water? No, it is more like related to, when someone is acting in a very death-like situation, a bitter spill. So in this case, ma'am, can you please look at the chat box after every question? I'm actually looking at the chat box after every question, but I think I'm receiving the comments a little late. I'm on the chat box only. But I think I'm receiving chats little late sometimes, maybe not every time. Okay, so the correct answer will be a bitter spill. It means a kind of experience which is very unpleasant to us, a situation which is very unpleasant for us. So basically हम उसको कई बार bitter situation भी बोलते हैं. Bitter taste, something we don't really like, a kind of thing that a kind of not very pleasing to us. We usually use bitter word for that, right? I had a very bitter experience. So here, the correct usage, the correct alternate, the correct phrase for the facing an unpleasant situation will be a bitter spill. Next. Students have to face the risk in order to attain success in civil service exams. Okay, I have to come up with to face the risk. I think this one is pretty common to us. Anyone who wants to try this one is pretty common. हम लोग बचपन में कहीं ना कहीं we also used to read story. एक story भी होता था. Come on, anyone who wanna try this question? This is a very pretty easy one, a very common one also. Okay, someone is saying fourth, someone is saying, okay, so Nikita, you have said fourth. When we say hard nut to crack, so if we relate to the action, it is more like a task which is very difficult. It is not taking risk. Okay, but if we see first one, it is about taking risk. That you need to, एक story होता था that there is a group of mouse, वो बिल्ली उनको खा जाती थी. So उन्होंने decide किया कि चलो उसके गले में घंटी बांध देते, तो जब भी वो आएगी हमें पता चलेगा. So what was that? Bell the cat. It was taking the risk. एक स्टोरी है, आई डोंट नो आप लोगों ने पढ़ा है या नहीं, बट दिस इज अ वेरी पॉपुलर स्टोरी. देयर वाज अ ग्रुप ऑफ बहुत सारे थे, तो उन्होंने डिसाइड किया कि चलो अब इसके गले में हम लोग घंटी बांध देते, तो व्हेनेवर शी विल कम टू नो. सो दैट एक्ट वाज बेसिकली अ ह्यूज रिस्क. सो दैट्स व्हाई टू बेल द कैट इट मींस टू फेस द रिस्क. क्लियर टू एवरीवन? सो समहाउ वो रिलेट हो ही जाएगा. यू माइट इनिशियली थिंक ma'am is not clear. Okay, so first thing you need to keep in your mind that indirectly it will relate. There is no direct relationship. Okay, I'm again repeating, there is no direct relationship between the meaning and phrase. Okay, all we can do is, because sometimes it becomes impossible to learn so many phrases and their meaning, and idioms and their meanings and everything. So what you can do is, you can find a relationship between the phrase and meaning to make it easier. Okay, there is no thumb rule कि हाँ ठीक है, there it might be to take one to be a task. ये भी हो सकता था अगर जिसने भी English language का invention किया या whatever it was. Okay, so in that case, so somehow indirectly you can relate. So ये तो story से relate होता है, बहुत common story है ये. So here answer will be first. Okay, अच्छा, screen is not clear. Sorry, Payal, actually your comment was half. I don't know what's wrong with that. I really have no idea. I hope this is clear now. Please check your internet. There might be some problem with the internet, because from my side there is no problem. I checked. Okay, chalo. I need to change the resolution. From my side, the resolution is high, and also there is no problem from my side, and some students are also commenting that screen is clear to them. Is it like that the words are not even readable, more like that? Or you can read it? Okay, chalo, let's proceed. Just in case agar aage bhi problem aata hai, to we'll figure it out what we can do. Or I'll keep this thing in my mind in next session. Okay. Due to lack of professional knowledge, the trick used in the marketing and branding of the new product yielded no result. So something ki productivity was zero. Outcome was zero. It produced no result at all. Okay. So we need to come with that. Gained ground somewhat contradict ja raha hai. Cannot be. No avail. Yes, this is the answer. Throwing cold water on anything. It is more like that something was already happening and we just ruined it. More like that. Agar hum literal meaning pe jaate hain, to just to get hint. Again, I'm repeating. This is only for hints. It has to do nothing with the meaning of the word. Okay, these are the only hints and ways to remember the phrases. Now, throwing cold water on anything. Again, I explained. Reap the harvest. Okay, this is pretty positive. We want to have a negative one. Hence, we easily eliminate it. As you can see, even if you don't, just in case you are not aware with the meaning of aware with the phrase or its meaning, in that case also, sometimes you can actually come up with the answer. So, second. I hope clear with this point. Next. Mary had a bad experience in relationship in the past. Now she is in a state of confusion whether she should marry someone or not. So here we need to come up with when we are pretty confused, when we want to meaning was there, Shelly, this meaning when we there is no result, when we couldn't produce any kind of result. Okay, that is no avail. Clear? Meaning is here only. What is given in the bold letters, that is the meaning. These bold letters words are given to you, phrase given to you. What you need to do is you need to find a substitute of this. Clear? I hope I'm clear. Now, coming back to the prior question. I think this is happening that I am actually receiving your comments a little late. That's why I think the problem is happening. Anyways, chalo. Proceeding further. So I have to come up with something. I have to show that there is a lot of confusion. My brain is not working. I have this confusion state of mind. So all at sea. So whenever you can, how you can remember it? All at sea, the meaning is a state of confusion. Whenever we are somewhere in the middle of the sea, everything is confused. We don't know which side land is. True. So ऐसे हम लोग relate कर सकते कि ठीक है. When we are in middle of the sea, all at sea, सब कुछ sea के उधर ही आसपास है हम लोग और हमें पता ही नहीं है. So there will be a state of confusion. So this is how you can remember that whenever we talk about a state of confusion, the correct answer is all at sea. Clear? Any doubt? Any question? I think I have to take pause of like few seconds so that I'll get your comments. Okay, so I think there is no doubt. So proceeding for next question. Okay, next says, excuse me. Being an atheist, he differs strongly with his parents' teaching on principles and the idea of Almighty. So when I am against something, when I differentiate my opinion strongly, whenever I'm in opposition, Jabibi. So in that case, what should be the answer? Call a spade whenever we are against. I mean, those students who are little well aware with that trump cards game, they will be aware with this. Now, burn the midnight oil doesn't relate. At logger's head. So this is, I think this is a kind of word which you must have also seen. Keep all at bay. It means we're just keeping everything away from ourselves. So at logger's head means whenever we are having different opinions, whenever we are having some dispute because of the different opinions. So whenever such, you can actually use this word in your daily communication as well. That whenever you face such situation in which, you have some different opinion from the person and you are sharing different views, different beliefs strongly, that is logger's head. Okay. So when I have to say that I'm differ strongly at logger's head, when you are having a conflict because of different opinions, that is logger's head. Okay. So correct answer here will be logger's head. Okay, any question, any doubt in this? Okay, so I'm assuming no question and no doubt. Next. She has to begin gaining experience if she wishes to join the media industry. So I need to, that's someone who need to gain experience, gaining the act of gaining experience. Okay, so whenever we talk about, whenever we need to gain some experience or like that, cost and answer, like it sounds more like that we are actually compromising or sacrificing something, or anything or something which is costing us. And now, gets one's feet wet. Okay, so this sounds similar to gaining experience, that when you get your feet wet, it means when you go on the ground, you actually see the real scenario. That's what gaining experience is. Cannot to sit on the fence. Hence, the correct one is that whenever we talk about gaining experience, it is get one's feet wet. It means you actually get on the ground, you get real experience. You don't just sit and being in that comfort zone. You are on the ground and you are actually gaining experience and learning by exposing yourself to the real scenarios. Because experience is that only we are actually learning theoretical knowledge. हमारा theory पूरा पढ़े MBA में क्या करने वाले हो तुम लोग knowledge ही gain करोगे, right? Real experience कब होगा? Do they really count your MBA as your experience? No, that is education. When you learn something, experience is when you work on the ground, when you actually expose yourself to the situations. So in that case, it is the second one. I hope I'm clear with the idea. Any question, any doubt? Okay. Okay, Shelly, I don't really understand that which question you are asking, because I again received it now. Your comment I have just received. So once I finish with the session, just tell me that in which question you were having doubt, okay? And I'll go back to that question. Chalo, next. A large crowd was anticipated for the art exhibition by the organizers, but it did not happen. Okay. So what happened? They were expecting large crowd. Anticipated is what? Projected, expected, more like that only. So breakdown, no. A house of cards, no. But when you see on the cards, this somehow looks similar. कि हाँ ये on the cards मतलब हमारे कार्ड पे ये list बना हुआ था, that these are the people we are expecting. So that sounds similar to anticipated. On the cards. So what will be on the card? Something which we have anticipated, something which we are expecting, right? So the correct answer here will be on the cards. Clear with this one? Waiting for like few seconds. Okay, so I think there is no question, there is no doubt. So proceeding for next. Okay. The government of the nation is not hard and fast with the lockdown rules during pandemic disease. Hard and fast. Pretty kind of phrase which we are using in our daily lives as well. Hard and fast rules. What are those hard and fast rules? Yeah, the rules are not that hard and fast. That is what? Being strict. So rules cannot be serious. It can be either strict or it can be pretty liberal. So government of nation is not hard and fast with the lockdown rules. Correct? Hard and fast nahi the. So can we just simply come up with the meaning from the context itself by the sentences here that it means something strict? That rules can be either strict होंगे या वो लूज होंगे. इसके अलावा तो तीसरा कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं है ना. सीरियस क्या होता है? Rules can never be serious. It can be either strict or it can be just liberal rules. So strict is the correct answer. Okay, so now you can come up with all your questions. Any question? Any doubt? Okay, meanwhile, you guys come up with your question. Let me explain usually with your, when we talk about loggers, I think you were asking about loggerheads, right? So loggerheads means whenever we are in any kind of argument, I think Isha has answered it absolutely correct, that it is all about arguments, disagreement. Whenever you are having different opinion from someone else, you are in a conflict because of different opinion, or conflict is anyway result of different opinion only. So whenever you are in argument or disagreement, that is loggerheads. Can you get IIM? Of course, you can get IIM, and there are a lot of factors we need to consider, like your previous academic profile and how much you score. CAT का जो score रहता है, basically percentile जिसको हम बोलते हैं. So these are the factors which are responsible for your entry into IIM. So if you have a good academic profile, so chances increases. All you need to do is you need to pay attention on your CAT. Okay. With 555 percentage in academics. Okay, so there are certain IMs who actually consider and pay a lot of attention on your academic record, but there are, if I talk about like IIM Lucknow, so IIM Lucknow में ऐसा कोई hardcore rule नहीं है कि आपका minimum इतना marks होना ही चाहिए. They simply have certain formulas. They put your score in that formula, and I think 2 point होते हैं. 2 points to your 10th, 2 points to your 12th, and 2 points to your graduation. So even if you have certain percentage, obviously 555 में है आपका, so you will get certain score, which you can eventually cover with your work-ex if you have any, or your CAT score. So there are some IMs which do have, जहाँ पे hope रहता है थोड़ा, and moreover अगर आप exceptionally, you just perform exceptionally good in your CAT examination, in that case, irrespective of your academics, they call you. They always have this clause in their, उसमें होता है, suppose कोई होता है score किया 100 percentile, but academics इतना अच्छा नहीं था. So in that case, they have certain policies. So going against their policy, they actually calls you. So CAT score is the most important factor when it comes to your selection to IIMs. And the second factor is your academics. If you have decent CAT score, in that case, your academics will play a vital role in that too. Like if I talk about IIM Indore, so IIM Indore academics को बहुत ज़्यादा preference देता है. So in that case, it might be possible, but दूसरे IIMs हैं. So you still have hope. You need not to worry about कि मेरा 55 percentage है, so will I get it or not? You still have hope. Just pay attention on CAT. It is not just next to impossible. Okay. Okay, Vinay, I hope my point is clear. There's many, you will find many people who will say कि नहीं हो सकता इतने काम, but exceptions are always there. And there are some IIMs who do not give that much importance to a CATs. So if you perform exceptionally good with your CAT, your GDBI, you'll get into the college. Okay, any question, any other query related to verbal or any management entrance exam? Anything? Okay, so I'm hoping that there is no doubt, there is no question. So, okay, let's call it a day then. So I hope you enjoyed the session and you learn a lot from this session, and hopefully this will help you in your examination. By that time, bye-bye, take care and keep practicing. Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Manisha. Thank you so much. I hope you keep enjoying our sessions like this only. Chalo, bye-bye guys, take care and keep practicing, okay? And all the best for your preparation also.